The latest as far as Shefali Jariwala death probe is concerned. According to our sources, two teams of the Amboli Police are investigating this particular case. The postmortem, remember, was done at the Cooper Hospital yesterday. That report is still awaited. The video recording has also been done of the postmortem. In fact, initially, the investigation was started on the basis of the suspicion of food poisoning. And this is what all the reporters who have been covering this story, they have mentioned, after which it was also seen whether she died due to any poison. So all angles are currently being investigated by the police. As I mentioned, the postmortem report is being prepared by a team of 5 doctors, and its preliminary report is likely to come out tomorrow. This is what the Amboli Police has in fact said. Now, as far as this death probe is concerned, let's in fact take a look at what the sources are saying at the moment. So the blood and viscera samples, they have been preserved. In fact, the preserved samples, they are going to be sent to the FSL. That is, the FSL is going to then check the possibility of drug reactions. And the cause of the death is going to be known only after the forensic science lab report comes out. In fact, the forensic team, it also visited Shefali Jariwala's house, and an autopsy report is also being prepared, and this will come out only after the FSL files its report. Like I mentioned earlier, 5-doctor panel, they have been formed for the autopsy report. They will be forming the autopsy report, I beg your pardon. 2 police teams, they have been formed in this particular case, the Shefali Jariwala death case. The police have seized 7 CCTV tapes. 14 people's statements have been recorded by the police, and the probable causes, they are being investigated. It could be low BP, severe gastric condition, and what we have been reporting since last evening is a sudden cardiac arrest. In fact, my colleague Sujata Dwivedi, she has been tracking the details of this very story. Listen in to that report.
2 teams of the Amboli Police Station are currently investigating the entire case. Like we know, as soon as the incident happened, around 3 hours later, the Mumbai police, along with their forensic team, had reached the apartment where Shefali Jariwala and her husband they reside, and they did collect all the evidence that they thought were helpful to them. Now, here the preliminary investigation says that it was earlier investigated with the angle that there could be food poisoning, because of which Shefali, she trembled down. But now that the autopsy report shall be out tomorrow, it will give us a better, clear view of understanding what exactly, turned out to be, because the radar is also on the supplements that she was, consuming. The intake of these supplements was usually for beautification and also skin whitening and anti-aging. So were these supplements somewhere reactive in a way where it directly impacted her cardiac health is something that the investigation needs to be done on. Also, the Amboli Police Station is currently investigating and inquiring to all those pharmacists who provided her these medicines, because the place where we are standing, bang opposite to this, there's a pharmacy, and was it from this store or any other where she used to get her medicines from is something that the questioning is being done to the maid and the house help who used to help her for her daily chores. And not only that, but the Amboli Police Station is also have recorded statements of multiple people involving the doctors who she consulted with, because one thing here to be noted is that the prescription that she was taking, as per sources, were the ones that were given to her by a doctor 8 years ago. Now, was there a new doctor that she consulted with, taking them now at the age of 42, or was it the same consultation done with the doctor who she met 8 years ago, is something that needs to be decoded by the Amboli Police Station.
Meanwhile, my colleague Anuj Raite is also joining us from the Amboli Police Station to take us through the latest as far as this investigation is concerned. Anuj, one big question that everyone is asking is the fact that there are reports that are coming out that Shefali Jariwala, she was under medication, but she was prescribed all these medicines a couple of years ago. So who are these doctors who had prescribed this medicine? Was she, self-medicating, etc.? This is something that is also being probed, isn't it?
Osama, there are multiple things here, but firstly, one thing is important for us to understand is both the police and the medical authorities have made it very clear that they do not want there to be any mysterious angle to this. In their statements to us unofficially, they have confirmed, this is the police, that they do not find any kind of foul play in this particular matter. It is a purely medical case, and as a result of that, an ADR, an accidental death report, has also been worked upon by the Mumbai police, especially the Amboli Police Station. Secondly, talking about her medication, it is not just since last 2 years that she was taking medication, but of course there's a multiple different kinds of treatments that she was undergoing, one of which was anti-aging treatment, something that she had been consulting a doctor or an expert for close to 7 to 8 years. Now, what the police is trying to understand with the two teams that they've formed is, whether it was the same doctor who was consistently providing the prescribed medication, what was the nature of these medicines, because we were also speaking to medical legal experts in the morning, and from them we understood that if a medicine is available in the market, which means that it is completely legal. Now, as far as the consumption of that medication is concerned, if it has been prescribed within a particular limit, then the consumption should also be that much. But the extensive use of it is person to person, and that would have certain, impact or consequences on the individual. However, it is also important to state that all the experts, the cardiologists and also the dermatologists, have confirmed it to us that there is no direct linkage between, the usage of anti-age treatment or, fairness-inducing treatment to that of cardiac arrest. What they state very clearly is that there might be some other form of medication that might have played a role, but, it's all speculative at the moment. And as a result of that, we've seen that, the visceral blood sample along with the toxicology report is something that the Cooper medical team is still waiting for. And now it has been given to the FSL lab here in Kalina, where the processing will be done, and we're expecting this report to be submitted back to the Cooper hospital tomorrow in all likeliness, after which the medical team will come out with their preliminary autopsy report, which will give the most clear indication on what exactly was the cause of the model turned actress's death, which according to the police and the medical team is in all likeliness cardiac arrest.